Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the episode 69 of the Iron Meditation, the Art of Living and Lifting podcast. I'm your host, Coach Michael. And if you'll be happen to hear a cat in the background, it's my co-host, Dolly, our family cat that comes to have some snuggles. So you begin your training cycle and all looks nice. You saw it on social media, you got motivated, you maybe even hired a coach. But suddenly something goes wrong. You lack the motivation, you begin to skip practices, you're not completing practices, you are getting bored, and you suddenly look at other stuff, or suddenly you just want to go back to the gym and pump whatever. So what happens? Because this is a very common situation that I see over and over, and people do not understand, because it seems that they are in it. However, there is something that stands in their way. So that something, quote unquote, that stands in the way is the misalignment or misunderstanding what training you are actually in. And this is something that Hormozi talked about business. So, for example, powerlifting. It's not about lifting a barbell. It's about a focus. It's about the ability of ultra focusing for a very short period of time. Let's say bodybuilding blocks are about discipline. And it's an army discipline, because muscle cultivation is an art. You must sleep, you must eat, you must be disciplined to perform the sets in a particular tempo, with a particular weights, and going to failure. So you must be disciplined, and it's very easy to be disciplined for a first month, but for 12-week block, or focusing at your first 5x5 sets are fun. But then if you haven't signed up for a discipline kick, you are getting bored, because nobody does it for the mechanical part of a movement. Okay, let's say people who run, running is a boring shit. Okay, swimming, as somebody who swims and does laps in a pool, it's boring as hell, especially if you're not swimming for fun, like these 10-20 laps, and then you going to talk to people or chill in the jacuzzi or in sauna. When you're really swimming and you need to count, about 100 laps, it's fucking boring, all right? The mechanical part of it. And same is with kettlebells, okay? Kettlebell sport is a boring shit. Like, come on, how many jerks or snatches can you do? And this is the only thing that you do. So, okay, and then people break, because there was misalignment between what they thought the training will be about and what their actual training is about, right? And when we understand what we are signing for, like what is the actual thing that we are going to do. So, like if I want to practice like this, like discipline, I'll probably sign up for a bodybuilding cycle. And by the way, the reason I never actually done it properly, bodybuilding in my case, is that self-discipline thing that I have enough discipline. And this is the main point and the key to unlock this motivation, quote unquote, chest. For example, I have enough discipline I need to run in my personal life right now. Juggling with 3 kids, with my businesses, my personal students. Like, I am disciplined enough. And when I come to the gym, practicing more discipline, no, thank you. I'll take whatever. It's like you're eating clean all week, and then you're going to a restaurant to eat clean. It's kind of like I can just eat at home. Like, if I'm going out once a week, I want to have fun. And if I'm disciplined enough, I am allowed to have fun. All right? And vice versa, if you eat shit, like a weekly bowl of rice and boiled chicken, like, seems like, ooh, I have done something for myself. And sometimes it must be exactly the opposite, because since I'm disciplined everywhere, it's easy for me to just practice the same discipline in the gym. But I'm lacking the communication skill, which kettlebell sport is all about. Eventually, it's communicating with the environment. It's communicating with something or somebody that is not me. Because when I'm focusing on me and not on the kettlebell and not on the environment, I'm failing miserably. Same is with the barbell, but just for the very short spurts of time. In this case, I just might need to practice something different. But here again, we are stumble on a wall that why we are going to the gym or, training in our garage in the first place. Like, am I there for a chiseled body, a six-pack, some guns and buns? Or I'm doing it as a therapy, as a practical, hands-on personal development thing. And it's okay to do both. I just need to be very clear on what my actual practice is going to be. And is this the practice I really want? So, for another example, I have a good friend of mine who's a student, and he's a ultra runner. And when I program for him, I program runners stuff, because his body will take beating, not for 20 kilometers or whatever, for 50, 80, 100 plus kilometers. So we work accordingly, and he understands that his training is about customer service. Like, his body is a customer, and he must serve the customer in order for the customer to be happy. Otherwise, he wouldn't run. So yeah, he might like, huge butt and big back and biceps and all this muscle definition, but it won't do him any good. And he may like to pull 4 plates off the floor, but as a runner and an ultra runner, he doesn't need to pull 4 plates. Like, pulling 2 plates will be enough. As a main goal, as a main practice. So understand, what are you really practicing? And again, it is not the mechanical movements. And then your chances of competing, and be content with what you do are going to be, let's say, almost 100% success.